capacity has it been demanding for you this week?
More mental.
That's where I wanted to go with this. Mental battles and mental struggles. Sometimes they come in disguise, I think. Because I think sometimes you might be met with a challenge that's like, it's clear cut, it's obvious. Like, okay, I just need to do this. So why am I struggling with it?
Yeah.
Like, why is it tough? Why am I finding it this difficult? Because what I feel like is the solution, I've done before. So why am I struggling to actually like piece this together and get this task done or get this situation sorted? And sometimes like it's a mental thing. Cause I got a friend, yeah. I won't just specifically speak about it on here, but they are going through something that's more physical, like a physical battle in it. They're struggling with something physically, and they're finding it very, very tough. Some of the things they're saying to me is very like negative and very like combative towards help. Do you get me? Like any guidance or advice, they're kind of like, no, I'm gonna do it like this, blah, and it's very aggressive. It's very like challenging. And when I'm hearing them speak like this, I'm like, this ain't gonna help. Like that's not the way. And I'm not gonna react in an emotional, from an emotional standpoint and think, fuck's this person think he's talking to? It's more so because they're going through what they're going through. So they need my advice, they need my guidance. But it's gonna now need a bit more. I now need to be forceful. It's not about, why don't you try this? It's, you need to listen to me. Because what you're experiencing is something that is affecting you in a massive way. And I understand that. However, you need to clock in mentally and think about, right, I might feel this way, but acting on how I feel or what I'm feeling right now is not how I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah.
The way you're going to deal with it is doing the right things and doing the things you need to do to move forward. And I think having that conversation I had with this person was a little bit of what I've been going through recently, but not more so like on a physical standpoint, but more on a business standpoint where I'm like, okay, there's going to be a lot of challenges and things that I was going to go through that I'm going to experience in my field of work that is going to challenge my mental before it challenges anything else. And I might see it as in it's challenging something like business or income, but actually it's challenging my mental to see if I'm actually built for this, if I'm actually trying to go to the next step, if I'm actually trying to grow, if I'm trying to climb ladders. Like, it's those types of things that it's testing you as opposed to, no, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like having that mentality, like it's all over, like like you're finished or stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely want to have that conversation still about the mental side of physical, financial, and those type of challenges.
Yeah, I think everyone's definitely going to go through it. Like, everyone's going to go through it. I think one of the things that that helps is your attitude towards whether it is, and whatever said hurdle it is. Like if you have that attitude, oh, bruv, this is tough, bruv, and it just stops there, that's when you're fucked, really, because you're almost like gonna get defeated before it even begins, innit?
Yeah.
If you have more of like a problem solving mentality, whereas like you always need, one thing I always say is you need awareness, innit? Because sometimes you can be naive when you're in those situations, like, oh no, everything's calm, so you treat everything like it's calm, whereas if you had awareness of realizing what situation you're in, there's things that you start to do to get me to help you. So I'll give you a scenario. Let's say, for example, like you're driving a car, in it, and this is like back in the day before you had like the dash cams and like the digital dashes and stuff like that. Yeah, you get a flat tire. Like the good drivers will have awareness of like, the car feels a bit imbalanced or the steering's got a bit stiffer or whatever in it. So that awareness will make them check the car, find the fault, and then do something about it. Whereas if your awareness is low, you're just going to keep driving. You might hit a long journey, boom, now your tire's messed up and you're stuck on that journey. Whereas if you had better awareness from the beginning, you could have done certain things to avoid that situation from being as bad as it can get. So for me, I think awareness is always the first thing, like realizing what situation you're in, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And then the second would be that mentality in it, so the problem solving mentality. So starting to think of, okay, this is where I am now, what can I start doing to get myself out of this or to improve the situation?
Because that's exactly how I felt like when I was having this conversation. That was what was coming across my mind. Like, it's not this person doesn't want help or is refusing. He is refusing, however, it's because he doesn't have the attitude that he needs to have right now.
Mm.
It needs to be the problem solving attitude, and I think that's something to touch on in terms of like, do you feel like you know a lot of people that have that type of mentality, or do you feel like
Went under the problem solving mentality.
yeah,
I think I know enough. Let's put it that way. I know enough and have enough examples around me. I'll say enough influential examples around me, because there's certain people that are in your circle, have an inner circle, outer circle, that they're not as big of an influence on you. Like, you know, there's certain people that you just know and you know what they're on, but that's them, innit?
yeah,
But there's certain people that you know what they're on, and that sort of like rubs off on you as well.
yeah,
So yeah, the people that are able to rub off on me, those people, I think, yeah, they definitely have that mentality. But then also there could be some people that don't, because one of the things that I found myself doing is sort of separate myself from certain people recently, because it's like, you know, when you ain't got nothing against them, and there's a case where like you're cool, and it's not even like you've left anything on bad terms.
yeah,
It's just for this period in your life, for this time being, your energy and their energy is like,
not matching.
it's not matching, innit? For whatever reason, as I says, they haven't done anything. It's just like, you don't need to be around these people at this time, because their energy and like maybe the type of conversation you're having is just not going to be helpful for your situation. Innit?
Yeah,
So I found myself just, proper. I'll say it happened more subconsciously, because it's more like you're trying to protect your peace. Do you know what I mean? But hindsight, just looking back, is like, it's certain people that at the moment I don't need that type of energy around me.
yeah.
I need a different type of energy. So
Yeah, that's important still. Are you the type of person that kind of cleans up their circle from time to time?
my circle's not even that big for me to have to clean it up, and it's like a control thing, whereas like I kind of control who's close to me at a certain time, because as a person, I'm so comfortable on my own in terms of like being independent, or just being by yourself. Do you know what I mean? So when someone's in my space, it's because I'm basically allowing you to be in my space. So in that sense, like no one can just pop up to my house and just, oh yeah, I'm just trying to check you and see if you was in. Like, that's never gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? And if it does, it's like once in the blue moon.
And the person who it is someone that's tight.
Yeah.
If anything.
And yeah, more time, bro. I'm like hard to get in touch with anyway. So you can't even pop up. You might go to my house, I'm not there, fam.
Yeah.
So I don't think people would even want to take that risk like that, fam. So, but yeah, to answer your question, what was your question, fam?
My question was, like, how often do you clean up your circle if you do?
Yeah, rarely.
Because for me, it's like I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
At all, unless like it's if any. All right, cool. We all have that one person, yeah, that's in your circle, but like they're on the edge of the circle. So like they're cool enough to be invited to your birthday, but only if you're inviting everyone.
Yeah.
If you're just keeping it like tight, they're probably not gonna be invited to your birthday. Like you'll probably just have it. You get me, and then tell them about it after. But they're still peoples, though. You get me. But then, if you're inviting a bunch of people in your circle, they're invited. They're part of the circle. You get me. But only in them scenarios.
They're outer circle. Isn't
they're outer circle. But in this, we all have that person in it, and I feel like there is a time where that person does get the little. For the next couple of weeks, bro, man, just gonna get me. I'm not even gonna be out like your head, because
I said, see you when I see you.
Your energy needs a lot of there's a lot of maintenance. You're high maintenance, basically. You're high maintenance. Like everyone's, whether it's guys or girls, you got a high maintenance measuring. That's a bit too. Like I need a lot of energy for you, and that sometimes during my year or however you want to add it up, but like for the year period, I'm gonna have energy for you. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna explain certain shit so you break it down so you understand. Let you know how other people take your energy. Like, I'm gonna talk to you properly. But then it does get to a point where it's like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna leave you over there for a little bit.
I ain't got the energy. Yeah, some people's energy is too demanding. Like,
exactly.
After you spent some time with them, you find out you're tired. Like, it could be like they just came to chill, but you're tired. Like, not physically, mentally, bro. You're like, bro, like, I just want to lie down and just close my eyes.
Some people are energy givers. Some people are energy takers and drainers. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to attract who you are, innit? So if you're an energy giver, you're going to be around other energy givers. It's just natural. Like, we just want to be around those types of people. Granted, we feel quote unquote important or of substance or of use when we have an energy zapper around, where it's like, you know what? Let me just help this person out quick. Like, you need a little, you know what I mean? What's going on, man? You right? You get me? You need a little bit of that, because some people, like, they need energy, so you want to do that. But if you got other energy givers around you, that helps. Why? Because when your energy bars low, they help you up. When their energy bars low, you help them up. And it feels like an equal relationship, where it feels like, you know what? At least I know if I have a day where I'm kind of just like coming to the pod, like I'm just like chilling, but one of the man them's here just like, yo, Nick, like, what's going on? You good? You get me? I'm like, I'm alright, bro. But hey, listen, man, I watch this. I saw, and then all of a sudden, man's vibe is just different now. It's like, wow, like I feel alive now. Sometimes you need that wake up call. So it's good to have those types of people around you still.
No, for sure. And also in terms of what was I gonna say? Yeah, in terms of like, I say me and you are similar in this way, where out of like our friendship groups or just people we're around, we're the people that people come to with like issues or situations or whatever.
Yeah.
And then for me, I think I'm reaching that point in my life where I'm like, bro, I don't think I got much more to give you, man. Like, it's like, how much help can you give someone for them to be good, if you know what I mean? Like, in terms of energy drainers, like, bro, people just take it, fam. My cup is like, I need to go to the petrol station and refuel, because and that's sometimes when that happens for me, that's when I just sort of like separate from people, because I'm like, bro, I ain't got, like, as much as I would want to help you, and as much as, listen, bro, I'm sorry you're going through this, but I can't help you right now. You know, 'cause I need to make sure I can help myself first, and then when I'm good, I can help you. Because I think that's where I am now. I said, bro, I'm helping people with this, with that, and then you start having certain conversations. Yeah, I'm like, bro, what am I actually getting from this conversation? And then I start looking at the conversation I'm having. The ones that I'm getting something out of it is advice, guidance, like career, personal life, whatever. Those are the ones you start to entertain more, because you're like, you actually feel like that's actually adding to you, innit? And then you start trying, like, you do less of what you feel like is taken away from you. And yeah, if you are going through that time in your life, I think it's definitely fine, because in order to give, you need to have. You know what I mean? If you ain't got nothing, then boy, well, you're just gonna be giving on fumes. Yeah,
you're pouring for an empty glass, is what people say. Yeah. Like, you don't want to be in a situation. You don't want to be in a situation like that, because at the end of the day, like, you're right. When you're in the scenario where you feel like you're having loads of different conversations, you're giving a lot, but actually, what am I actually getting from this? And I feel like, I don't know, I've definitely been in that situation before, like how you're feeling now, where it's like, I feel like I'm giving to a lot of places, and I'm like, brother, I need to make sure I'm straight, because this is bro. Don't call me. No one call my phone like asking me for some advice or something, because right now, bro, I'm fresh out. I'm fresh out. I need to go reload. Do you get me? And I don't know if there's any advice I could give or anything that worked for me per se when I was in that scenario. But the only thing I'll probably say is, like, go back to like the basics, foundations. Like, you know, be like, you know what? I'm going to just focus on what I got going on and make sure I'm straight. And then anyone that comes to me with some sort of advice, give what I can give and just leave it at that until I can give more. Because you know the difference. Like, I think we both know the difference where let's say someone calls you and be like, hey, bro, Jay, listen, I'm chatting to this girl, and I just don't, like, I messaged her this, but I don't know how to go about it. Like, do you think I should take her on a date now, or do you think I should just delay it? And you'll probably be there and be like, nah, bro, you've got two options. Do you ask him how he's spoken to her and what he said last and when is the next time you're going to see her, and go ham and like try and probably give him some real good advice to help him nail this? Or he's going to be like, bro, just say you're busy for the next week and then just act like you're not interested, bro. And then trust me. Trust me, it's going to work. Just shout me in like a week or two, bro. Trust me, it's going to work. Just act like you ain't interested, bro. You straight. I cool. I want. You got two options. And sometimes you might just have to go option B for a little bit. Yeah. Just give them the answer that will help but we don't know if it's really gonna help. But it's enough.
Yeah, but
Because
that was
like you're
my cousin.
protecting your energy, you're protecting your peace. Pause.
Yeah, have to still, because that was like my little cousin. Yeah, he's not even little anymore. My young cousin. And man came to my house. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, cuz, I'm stressed, man. I need to chat, fam."
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, you know when I think, do you know is the curse of like you being who you are in terms of you're the person most of the time people come to you for like advice. That's like just the curse. Of
It's the
being that
curse
person.
of being good at what you do.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on this. Go on. Bro.
So as soon
Man.
as he said that, bro, like he's like, "Hey, cousin, I'm stressed out, man. Go for it." And in my head, me knowing the stress that I'm going through, like, I say, bro, if you don't move your stress away from my stress right now, yeah, that's what I say in my head, innit? I said, "Hey, bruv, what problems do you think you got going on, innit?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Fam," because I think he got into not a car accident, but like a little minor like situation, yeah, where and basically because he's got like a fresh car in it, a brand new car. He's, you know, that brand new car feeling where you like you don't even want to put certain things in your car because you might get it dirty. And
you don't even want to lean on it too tough. Yeah.
So I was like, and then obviously I've been there in it, and everyone's been there. Where it's like, yeah, cool. But in the other 6 months time, you don't care, fam.
Bro,
you see a little
driving,
you see a little scratch.
Yeah, man.
You do, bro. As long as it's not like mad damage, you're a little scuff on the tire, bro. I'll get it fixed later.
Man.
So he's stressed because he got into a little accident where, when the accident, it was a little situation where he's basically telling me like temporary lights, driving front's gone, then they braked in it. He's gone into the back of them, and then they tried to claim some mad like peas off him. He took pictures and everything, yeah. The other car in front of him, no damage, but he's got damage on his car, innit? So he's stressed about the damage on his car. He's like, yeah, bro, like, you know, he's getting quoted like 6 bills to fix it, 4 bills to fix it, 2 bills. And I'm looking at that, bro, that's minor.
Yeah, minor thing.
And he's telling you, like, he came to my house in them.
He came in fucked up. He was fucked up, innit?
I said, if I tell you what I'm handling right now, yeah, I don't think you make it back to your car, brother.
Yeah.
But it's like that, whereas like I could have actually took time and showed, okay, cool, you know what, this is how you can fix it. If you're gonna fix it yourself, or cool, let me give you my mechanics number, all of that. I said, bro, all I can say is, bro, it's a minor, fam.
Yeah.
It's a minor. Don't worry about it, fam. Yeah. In a month or two, if you don't want to fix it now, in a month or two, we can't. Just put a little bit of money aside and you're good. Yeah. That's literally that's all I chose to say in that situation. And whereas normally I'll take them through. That's why they can come to me with like stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if they went to someone else, they probably won't say anything because they're like.
And that's what it is. You have to protect yourself. And I think you have those times in the year where you'll be like, no, I've got energy. I've got energy for everyone. I'll help everyone. But the curse of being good at what you do, this spreads across so many different industries and walks of life. It's mad. So like, if you're someone that's good at what you do, let's say it's your job, it gets to a point where the demand for what you do is high as fuck. And it's like, brother, this is stressful. Now, of course, depending on what you do, that also comes with higher income in it. Like, money's coming in, business is going up. This is great. But also the demand on you and your expertise is now going up. So now it's taking a toll on your body. It's taking a toll on how you and that I would say happened to me a few months ago, and happened for a few months. You get me, where it's like, this is good, but like, fuck, I'm tired. Like, working. You saw me, man. I was coming in like 11. Like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like, I'm leaving early. I'm coming home late. It was great, but at the same time, it's like the demand is crazy. So that's like, there's a gift and there's also a curse of being good at what you do. Now, I've got a question, yeah. Would you say, yeah, if you're in that situation where you feel like your demand's going up, income is going up, do you feel like you should be able to, or not should be able to, I want to say that, you should, as advice, find that middle ground of control, where you're good at what you do, but you're not that good. Like, you try and be like, listen, let me just stay here because this is manageable. If I start going crazy, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to control this.
In terms of what, so the way I look at that, yeah, and I've been there before, is firstly, you look at you in comparison to the market, innit? So if we're talking about like financially, are you overcharging, are you undercharging? That's one, innit? Can you basically get more for your buck and do less, essentially, innit? So that's what I'll look at. If I can, then I'll start to look at systems that I can implement. So that's like automated check-in, so I don't need to physically do it. They just messages going out and then they send it to me. I check in the morning, whatever. Whether it's like automated reminders, again, I don't have to do it. Automated bookings, just like all of these things that you can do. Just put systems in place that would essentially help you. What's the word? Function. So essentially, do more for less, innit? And then secondly, I also look at, again, what I'll be really honest with myself in terms of like what I can handle, but then I'll sort of compare it to where I want to get to. So if it means for the next month, I'm going to have to feel like this, because by the end of that month, because of the work I'm going to do, I'm going to be in a much better place, then I'll firm that month. Do you know what I mean?
For a period of time,
yeah,
right?
I'll definitely firm it. I won't like settle, because fam, I think once you settle, it's to decide not to settle again. It's so hard, because remember, everyone that you was with on the same level who chose not to settle, they've gone. And then it's not like a comparison thing, but it's like a regret thing. It's like, bro, like I could have kept going, but I chose to settle. And then you're not going to be happy with yourself. Do you know what I mean? So the only thing with like personal training or your specific industry, and this is what I struggled with, is an individual thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to scale, you have to implement systems, but you can't like rely on people.
No.
You have to rely on your systems. Whereas I'm a type of person that I like to rely on people. Do you get me? I like to like sort of plan things, set things up, and then put people in place and say, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever in it. But you can't do that with personal training.
Yeah.
Like, how can you delegate?
Yeah.
If you tell someone else to run your sessions, like that's no longer your session.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do you actually manage that? Whereas if it's looking like in a different business, let's say it's like photography or something, now I can build my portfolio up, my clientele up to a place where get in demand. Now I can't physically accept every single booking, but what can I do? I can train up a group of younger people.
But they have that for personal training, you know.
Is it?
Nuts, bro. So there's this thing, I probably won't put this in the video. I don't care if I put this in the videos. But there's this place called, I might believe it, but there's this place called The Cut, yeah? What time is this? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, it tells that. Yeah, there's this place called The Cut, right? Now, it's decent, but it's exactly basically what you just said. And I'll go.
Cool.
So, it's basically exactly what you just said. So basically, imagine a personal trainer that's getting so much demand, you started to train up other personal trainers or employ other personal trainers to basically train the clients for him in the style that he does it, for like a set salary, and that's it. Now, what that does is devalues the personal trainer that's actually doing it, and obviously profits the business, which is of course good. But at the same time, those personal trainers potentially be earning way more because obviously the clients are obviously enjoying the sessions. That's why they keep coming back. But at the same time, it's the personability and the communication that they have with said personal trainer that's going to make them feel like, no, I'll keep coming back. I like David. Still, David's cool. Like, David keeps me on my toes. He does this, he does that. Like, he's a nice human being, isn't it? So there's those types of things as well. So it's rare though. What I'm speaking about, like, this company is rare. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
really.
I personally hadn't heard. I can see it how it works, but then it's like, as I said, it's so much of a personal brand thing.
Exactly.
Like, you're training someone and they're training with you because they like you. Not even necessarily the style of your trainer or what, because they'll do anything you tell them to do.
Literally, bro.
Because they like you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the only thing. So you have to rely on systems now. How can I reach more people without giving up more of my time?
Yeah,
essentially.
100%.
But you probably are for the month gonna have to do those mad long hours.
At the end of the day, you're gonna have to do a doggy for greater gain later on down the line. That's with every industry. If you're a musician, if you, like whatever it is, I'm sure you have to do it in sales. Like you have to do a certain period of time of work where it's like, oh, this is gonna be a rough 6 weeks or rough 4 weeks of hustle. I can't like, and then I don't even know where this hustle's gonna get me when I get there.
Yeah.
But I just know I got to do this real quick, and then once I get there, I'll figure out the rest. But if I get there or when I get there, I'm only gonna do this for another 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a buck. That's my capacity. And if you have that level of control, then in that time period of 4 to 6 weeks, you are gonna go absolute ham, and then you find yourself in a position where it's like, oh, actually, I'm nice. I can now pivot into this, and then now I'm in a way better position. That 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, was probably really tough. But I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't get though.
What do you mean?
They feel like you can go into an industry and it will be smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, it's not gonna be. Even when it gets lit, it's not smooth still.
That's why I like. This is why I like sales, yeah. Because so there's two scenarios where that comes into play. The scenario where you're gonna have to do your work regardless, yeah, and it's delayed gratification. It's not like it's gonna happen. Like you're gonna reap the rewards straight away in it. Is cool. Let's say you have to, and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about because it translates to whatever you're doing in it. As long as you're running a business, you translate, but you need to generate business, right? Now, for you to generate business, let's say you want to increase your client book by 5 new clients. Let's say that, yeah, cool. You're not gonna just get 5 new clients like that, but you are gonna have to start speaking to more people. Right? In sales, we call it prospecting. Essentially, you're gonna have to start prospecting, reaching out to people, and introduce them, trying to find out if you can help them. Introduce them to your business, etc., etc. You're gonna have to do that to bet. It might just take you 100 people to get those 5 clients.
Even to get one.
Do you know what
Real
I mean?
talk,
Yeah.
especially in personal training.
However,
Everyone wants a personal trainer.
Yeah, but the
Who
thing
wouldn't?
is, exactly. And the thing is, you might be doing that. You might say, okay, cool. I need 5 new people, so I'm gonna speak to 5 people and trying really hard to convince them.
To get all
And
5.
you're gonna waste all your time continuously trying to convince these 5 people. Whereas if you just introduce yourself to more people, because at the end of the day, a lot of things is just a numbers game. Do you know what I mean? Firstly, cool, work out your conversion rate. You might say, okay, for every 10 people I speak to, 1 of them register. So in order to get 5 people, you have to speak to 50 people. And it's just literally like that.
It's literally that.
Take your emotion out of it. Oh, bro, like I'm spending 5 minutes. No, bro, your conversation only needs 5 minutes long.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly like a method that I use in terms of, it's just numbers game. I just think to myself, okay, cool, what works for me? What's been working for me? And then how do I use that to my advantage? Not base it on, again, emotions or even some people's advice when it comes to like certain things. It's like, you might say that, but I know what's been working, innit?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like the numbers game is massive. You have to think about, okay, what's been working? I'm just gonna use that. So it worked for this person, worked for this person, worked for this person, and it's never failed, or it's only failed 1 time out of 100, for example. It's like, nah, let me push them down this way. I could potentially go here. I could be aggressive and be like, all right, cool, let me get them to do this now. But I'm like, no, actually, every time I've gone down here, perfect. Come down here. Let's go here, and then it works out.
And you also sort of like, what's the word? You sort of, like, if you don't see it as a numbers game, you sort of set yourself up with false expectations because it's like, how can I put this? It's like I'll put this in the term of like farming, innit? You only plant seeds when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Like, if you're hungry and you're planting seeds, it's too late.
Bars!
Do you know what I mean?
No! Bars!
You have to plant seeds once you're full, so that by the time you're hungry, you can then reap. So when you
Johnny's spitting. Hold up, hold up. Johnny's spitting right now.
Fam, it's real talk.
Johnny's spitting right now.
It's real talk. Because for example, you might say, oh, you know what, my clientele is full right now. I'm packed. That's the time where you're gonna have to go out and speak to more people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When you're comfortable, that's when it's a problem. As soon as you start getting comfortable, hey,
That's, you know what I'm saying?
You better start making yourself uncomfortable.
And that's the problem with settling. So for example, and the thing is, that's what I say, it's a double-edged sword because you can be mad like successful and mad in demand, and you're thinking, bro, I ain't got time, because you almost think like you're too good to do the dog work. Yeah. I ain't got time to be messaging people. I've already got enough people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that's not gonna last you forever. And anyone that run, because do you know what's so mad? Yeah, sometimes this is what used to.
Hey, you see when Johnny sits over the scene talking about business? That's when he start getting excited. He's like, hey, you know what?
I start doing this.
You start doing this,
bro. Listen, like fam, when I was younger, yeah, like in my head, I've always had that sort of like I want to run my own business sort of mentality in it. But the biggest fear I have, yeah, and it's sort of like when you're an employee. Is a safety net because systems have been put into place to allow you to be successful. Whereas if you run a business, if you run your own business, if you're like self-sufficient, no one's gonna come and save you. So at the end of the day, how much money you're earning is directly down to what you're doing. However, if you're an employee, you've got a salary. All you need to do is turn up and do the things that it says in your contract. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you're a business owner, you have to determine what goes into that contract.
and what makes you money.
Do you know what I mean?
You got to determine what makes you peace and do those things. And then you might find out some new shit.
Yeah. So, for example, when I'm speaking to like people at work, you have like a conversation with someone who owns a business and a conversation with someone who doesn't own a business, just an employee. Two very different conversations. The employees think of, bro, I want to make life easier. As in, okay, let's say for example, you're selling a car, yeah, and the employee's gonna think, bro, I want to look good when I'm coming to work and I'm on my way to work. I want to make sure that the music, so you get me, is loud. I want to be in a good mood when I'm coming to work. The business owner is like, yo, can I buy this car with an own driver? I ain't got time to drive. You get me? If this car is gonna allow me to get from here to here quicker, save me time, ultimately, which can help me make more money because I can invest that time in something else.
Yeah, and I can do stuff while I'm on the move.
That's what's gonna get them. So sometimes people, you have the right product, but you're selling it to someone in the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? And that's, as a business owner, that's why I think, okay, cool. If you're gonna take that step to run your own business, all of the comfort of an employee, because it's easy to say, oh, bro, I want to run my own business, but people don't realize that you have a mad safety net, because someone's taking all the risks for you. All you have to do is come and deliver.
Literally. And you have to, if you're going from an employee to a business owner, you have to go and delete all of the things that sometimes your manager or the business owner might tell you in terms of how you have to move, how you have to think. You can learn stuff from it. Of course, there's a massive things you can learn from working for someone. But when you go into like working for yourself, if you don't have it already, which I'm assuming you do because you want to work for yourself, but you have to have the mentality of belief. Learn to love fear. Embrace it. Don't feel like you want to run away from being scared, because that means you ain't built for this. Because there's gonna be basically every day or every other day or maybe at least once, you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be fucking scared. You're gonna be shitting yourself because you might just have a thought and think, oh, my business is gone. Anything. Let's say, for example, you're a barber and you open up the shop. You're thinking, like, cool, first time I open up a shop, like, gassed. All these clients said they're going to pull up this weekend, whatever, barber. Everyone's written down in my notebook. But cool. It's Monday. You ain't cut no one all day. You're thinking, fuck! If you've got a weak mental, bro, you're thinking,
Start panicking, bro.
Brother, this is mad. I thought everyone was telling me they're going to slide through, whatever. I know it's Monday, but still, like, no walk-ins. No one would walk past and be like, want to get... I didn't even make a tenner. What? Oh, I don't know about this shit. This is mad. If you've got that mentality, the door's over there still.
Trust me, you're not built for it.
The door's over there still. You got to think, okay, cool. Opening my shop. How am I going to get my first? If you want someone on that Monday and you're not okay with no one pulling up, you need to either do anything you can to get someone to pull up. And then if they don't, if this not possible, cool, next day. Ain't nothing. Shut up. Tuesday, I got a plan.
But then are you even also in a situation like that, are you even willing to cut people's hair for free?
Boss.
Are you ready? That's another form of sowing a seed.
Because Brody, I was training people for the free.
Sure.
Real spill.
I was taking pictures for free. I trained people for free.
Brother.
Then man started moving to train people for like £20.
I was training. It's real. Because at some point, if I go too deep into conversations like this, I'll start getting emotional because I start thinking about things like, because the way we live, yeah, and not to say we live mad the same, but in terms of we just go forward in it. We do something, just keep moving. Like we do something, we just keep it moving. We don't start thinking back and looking back on how far man's come or what man's done. And man don't think about that. But man just
keep doing it.
Just do. You get me? Just do, and then just keep going, and next thing, and next thing, next thing. But when I start thinking back now, like this is the first time I'm actually thinking back to it until this moment in time. I would go to my boy's yard in his garden, and he had a dog. I don't like dogs, so man will lock his dog away, and I will train him in the garden. Real spill for free. Exactly. I will take my weights. I don't think you lot are hearing, man. I will take my weights, 20 kilos, 50 kilos, whatever the case may be, with battle ropes. I would take that to his garden, bro, and train him for free, bro, because he's the homie. And I'm learning from this. And I'm building my thing on a building business thing. Yeah. And Batchy's did already one more. I was going crazy. But I'm still gonna, you get me? But bro, man was training, bro, for the freebie. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. So sometimes it is a thing where we have to. You have to gonna do the dog work, and those are the times where and I think it's my mentality. I think God's always putting things in your face that is either a challenge or somewhere for you to grow, and anything where you might initially think, oh shit, it's negative or it's bad. It's not. God wants me to learn. God wants me to. God is putting this in front of. God is putting this ladder in front of me and say, all right, cool. Or God is putting this wall in front of me to see if you can climb it. And every single time it's going to be a bigger wall to make you stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. So naturally, it's like you might come across something. It's like now it's time to overcome it. You have to overcome it, like regardless of whatever gets put in front of you. And I always think about it that way. And sometimes, and I'll say definitely this week, I've come across some things that at first I thought, oh shit, is my business in danger? Is this going to be a problem here? But then I've gone, oh, okay, no, it's this. Okay, cool. And then I have to pattern, and I've patterned, and then something amazing will happen the next couple of hours. I'm like, okay, this is mad. Having your own business and working for you, this is nuts, because you're literally in a situation where 1 minute it's great, next minute it's not so great. So you kind of have to be built for.
It's high risk, high reward, isn't it? And some people like to have that predictable.
You know what's gonna happen, and that's cool.
That's fine, nothing wrong with it.
And I think that's like not normal, but I think that's very good. And I feel like as life has gone on for myself, I've always had this battle with myself. Like, I want this, but I'm trying to get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want something, but I'm trying to get it for ages. And it's like sometimes you don't even know what it is, and you're thinking, I want this though. But it's not an option. I'm like, fuck, how do I make this happen? I can't explain it, but this is what I want. And then when it gets to a point where it's like, now you're doing what you want and you've got it now, it's like, I get it now. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm amongst these people that also like this thing. And it's just like, you have to now just continue to do this. And it doesn't stop. It's a continuous, because it's you. And like you said, like it's on you. Whatever you make financially, it's on you. There's no safety net.
Yeah.
You are your own safety net. You have to create your own safety net. You have to rely on systems. You have to rely on these things that's going to make these things consistent and continuous for you. And it's what makes me tick. I'm going to be honest. Like, I was talking to my boy I was talking about earlier, and the physical issues he was having obviously is hindering him to do the things that makes him tick, do the things that helps his mental health. So let's say, for example, it's a physical thing that stops him from, like, I don't know, running or doing a physical activity that he likes to do a lot. If he can't do that physical activity, that means he is not helping his mental health. I don't know why there's so many.
You left your window.
Yeah. So he if he's unable to do a run, that's gonna hinder his mental health. Now, if he gets advice from someone that says, "Yo, fix whatever's going on with you physically, so you're able to run," he's thinking, "Bro, running's not even that deep. I want to walk." And it's like, no, you're not getting what I'm saying. Fix it so you can run, so you can help yourself mentally. Because at the moment, it's taking a toll on your mental health, and it's pissing you off. It's making you angry. It's making you aggressive. It's making you do things you don't really want to feel this way. So, not so you can run and get fit and do a 5K in 20. No, that's irrelevant. Run so you can be free again. Run so you can feel good about yourself. Run so you can look in the mirror and be like, yeah, and smile. That's why you're running. So it's like, I've completely forgot where I'm going with this point, but hopefully you got something from that, from listening to it, in terms of there's a different way of looking at things and a different way of delivering things that's going to help people understand what you're delivering. Do you get it?
No, for sure. And just to go back on what was I talking about?
The car selling,
so do like in terms of like the two sort of different people. Firstly, of course, like as I said, like clearly knowing, cool, if I want to be in a position where I'm running a business, knowing that listen, everything ultimately is gonna basically fall on you. Everything.
Sorry to cut you. And this kind of ties into this, innit? Like the pod, innit? Because sometimes, no, let me finish your point. Come on, I'm going to go for a while.
No, go on.
You sure?
I think,
Alright, cool. So, I'm the type of person that, naturally with the pod, yeah, I take care of the visuals, send the audio to you, whatever. I could do pics. There's certain things where it's like, I do majority of the production in it. The editing, the reels, whatever. Am I comfortable to leave that in someone else's hands? Whether it be you, Kofi, or someone else that does production? I don't know. Not because I don't trust you or the level or the skill of anyone else. I think I'm the problem. It's not you, it's me. Do you get me? Because I'll watch it and be like, yeah, but we could, you get me? We could have used, and then I will feel uncomfortable. But not because of what they've done. It's because of how I feel about the product. Do you get me? And I feel like that's like, again, what I was feeling about, no, it's on you to be able to do this. But it's like, no, I need it to be on me. It has to be with me. I don't know if I can allow it to be on someone else because, it means that I get to do fucking nothing. But then I'm looking at it like, oh, I want to do this. And not because I want to take over or have control. It's more so to do with like, no, it's fine. Leave the burden with me. I want to be the one responsible if it goes bad or if it goes right. I like that. That kind of, that keeps me, press. But remember when I used to say like pressure makes diamonds. I like being in pressure situations because that's what makes me perform the best. And even like to like a football analogy, there's been times when I was younger, but it would be like 16, 17, and I'll have a game in a stadium, like a big stadium in it, like the first time ever doing it. And I'll have like brand new boots. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to be in a place you've never been before. Loads of pressure in a big game with brand new boots on it. You never played football, like never trained in them. That's mad. But then in that game, I played like top. So it's like those like pressure scenarios. That's like, brother, you're playing in a final in a massive stadium, brand new boots, and you still played well. Yeah, because the stakes are high. Like I'm just that type of. I like to be in those scenarios. That keeps me level. If I feel like there's no pressure, and there's nothing going on, it's just like.
You don't think it's worth it a while?
I'm like, I can't. I don't feel like this ain't getting me.
Yeah.
This ain't, you know what I'm saying? But if it feels like, nah, bro, it's on you. Like, this is with you and you have to do this. It's like, I bet. For me, I can comfortably say I'll deliver.
Yeah. I think, do you know what it is as well? I think that also impacts the people that you end up doing things with or working with. Do you know what I mean? Because you look for, like, you won't purposely think to do this, but what's the word? Subconsciously, you look for people who, like, are basically filling your gaps. Pause. Do you know what I mean? But like your people who has strengths that would be your weaknesses. Do you know what I mean? Because when you start to like look at successful people or successful groups or people that work well together, it's like they complement each other so well. You know what I mean? So for example, if we look at this situation, I'll look at when we done our event. Yeah. Where we had, okay, cool. There was times where, you know what, it was pressure because we had either a deadline that we had to meet or we had to get something somewhere, we had to be somewhere by something. You get me? That's probably when, okay, cool, you'd come to life and you could, cool, all right, cool, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. Yeah. Then there'll be times where we'd actually need to sit down and actually plan and have like a plan that we feel comfortable with executing. Yeah. And that's where, okay, cool, I'll probably come to life because for me, that's how I see myself. And then we might have a situation where it requires someone to actually speak to someone or do this or like actually start to liaise and stuff, then that's where Kofi could, make himself. I was gonna say make himself useful, but I don't know why that sounds bad, but that's where he will come to life, innit?
Yeah.
So naturally, you naturally sort of gravitate to people that are good at things that you're not good at.
Yeah, like the yin to the yang thing, where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not good at that, so that's why they're there, and I'm good at this, and that's where I fit in. And then
Because if you find yourself in you're chilling with people and you both do the same thing,
then what's the point?
what and for me, sometimes I'm like, that's what, like, they're calm people. That's what I said. You can be calm people and have no issue with you, but your energy is not my energy right now. Because it's like we're clashing for some reason.
Exactly, and then that's when there's two people that do the same thing and want to do the same thing too much. That's when you're gonna cause issues. Because if imagine there was two of me in the podcast space in terms of like on the same pod, like we both want to do the visuals, like we both want it, like not like both like, oh no, you can have it. No, it's like, no, I want to do it. Like, can we do this instead? Like now we're clashing. Now it's a problem because it's like I saw the visuals last week, thought it was kind of weak. You get me? Not weak as in it was bad. It just wasn't the way I would have done it. And then now it's like, let me do it. And then it's now a back and forth.
Like a competition.
Now it's a problem. And it's like, this is childish. But if it was one of us, who would say one is wrong or one is right?
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
That goes into, these are all the things that you have to think of if you do want to, for example, run a business. Because you can have the plan and you can have all of the pieces, but you might not have any glue, fam.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
like, cool, but what are you going to do? Like, you can have all of that, but it's still not going to be functioning until you bring someone that has something that you need. And no one ever has everything.
No.
That's like impossible.
Yeah.
No one ever has anything.
And that's when you have to get to a point where you do start to delegate and do start to move other pieces around that help. And that's vital still. And it's like, I can't lie to you. Like, even just having this conversation with you, man, just in my head, I'm like, bro, we need to do more business together. Still, we need to do more business. Yeah, bro, we can make peas, you know.
Makes sense.
We can make peas together, bro. Like,
not even can, we will, fam.
Like, that's the thing. But on a level where it's like, fam, because that's why, and this is what people don't understand. In it, like, we never started the pod to make peace. It was never that scenario. It was never like, hey man, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do the pod.
About that all my life.
At no point, even to this point, to this day, in 2023, I'm not even thinking, man's gonna try and make this piece of this pod quick. It's never been man's mentality. There is, of course, avenues where you can make money off podcasts. Don't ever get twisted. We can probably get someone from a pod that actually does make peas of podding, like mad peas of podding, sorry, but would come through and be like, what you man doing? What you man could be doing this as well. You man could be doing, all right, cool, let me give you this number. And, do you get me? They'll start doing things like that, but it's like 100. But man's not even thinking about, because you see this here, the conversation that we're having right now, this is like, I can't speak for you, but for me, this is like the only time I've had all week, and probably ever really do have all week, to just kick back, do nothing but chat to my boy, you get me? On a vibe where I'll chat to my man them, but while I'm doing something. Like even the other day when I called you, I was driving, don't know, you must have been doing something. Like we was talking for a minute, like we spoke for like 30 minutes or whatever, but we was doing something. Do you get me? But when does it get a time where you actually just focus on the conversation? Be present in the conversation. Be present, do you get me? And really just have a convo and learn some stuff and then kick game and tell stories and things like that. That doesn't really happen during our weeks, innit? So I put more value on that than it is to monetary gain. Money doing other stuff, you get me? The man don't need to make mad bread doing this, but at the same time, it's like having the conversations that we have. It's like where the pieces that we are in terms of Kofi, myself, and Johnny. It's like actually it's a good blend to have a business together where it's like, okay, cool, you're good at this, I'm good at this, he's good at this. Let's work together to try and build something. That's obviously something that we're obviously going to do at some point for sure. But in terms of, because it's only because this conversation actually just brought it to my head, I'm thinking, no, this actually makes mad sense still. Because we have those qualities as well as standards. I think standards is also important when it comes to business and building.
Yeah, we like to do things like
it has to be right. And it's like iron sharpens iron. Like or still sharp. What is it? Still
Iron
sharp.
sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens
Yeah,
iron.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I will.
Or as Mohammed Kudi says, Aaron's.
Yeah, Aaron's. I've seen that. Oh, come on, you Aaron's. Aaron, who the fuck is Aaron, fam?
You know that Jamaican player, fam?
Yeah.
I think his name is Rolando Aaron's or something.
Yeah.
He must have been. What are you talking about, fam?
It's about me. I don't even play for them niggas. We'll touch on football today as well. Still.
Hey.
But yeah, like I might implement something and be like, oh, this is the best shit. Like I can't lie to you, this is mad. Let me show the man them. Johnny might show you something. I'm like, oh, what? You could do that as well. He's like, yeah. And Kofi's like, bro, man, I've been doing this for time. Is it? So now, man's elevated. As opposed to without those two bits of input, I would have thought this was the maddest.
This is the standard.
You know what I'm saying? I would have thought this is it. You get me? This is the most we got. This is the one. But then once you start sharing it, involving people that you respect the opinion of and that hold themselves to a high regard, also, that's when things start to enhance and it gets even better. And I feel like it comes with it's a product here. People can see it, hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like every time people come here, every guest, are like, you man's got a proper setup. I know you man's cameras, but you get me? They start fixing themselves and that, like, because they know we come with that level of quality that in South and pods, and no disrespect, even in West, because I know West like to do pods a lot, but there's a difference. Do you know what I'm saying?
You have to be of a certain level or something.
Yeah, but even you get me of us. Let's see what he's saying, and then we'll put the mic in. Kofi's just called, by the way, guys.
He's saying sleephead.
Sorry, boys.
You good, fam?
I'm not. Like I said beforehand, I'm very, very ill.
Mm.
I'm not in the best places right now.
You know we're recording, fam. Right now. You're speaking into the mic.
I know.
Boy.
What was you sleeping, bro?
That is. Look, I'm not well for the viewers that's not listening. That's watching or listening. I'm not well. Hence why I'm not in the studio. Also, not in the best of places. So, obviously, the guys are doing their best parts, holding down. But yeah.
You know what? You take it easy, innit? You rest up then.
Yeah.
We'll hit you up properly.
I'll message you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, love.
Take it easy, bro.
Love. Shout out Kofi.
Yeah,
you get
man.
me?
You'll be back soon.
We'll be back soon, man. Soon, land. Soon touch.
Trust me.
Uncle Kof. Now the place.
Where was we though?
But yeah, well, just to wrap up that the business aspects of things, like, yeah, it's gonna take some time. You're gonna need to hustle. You're gonna need to push yourself. You're gonna have doors shut in your face, but not every no means like no, go away. It means no, try harder and try a different avenue, try a different place, try a different sales tactic. Just try. You get me? At the end of the day, the minimum requirement is for you to try. Not trying is worse than any failure. That's what my boy Anton Walk said. God rest his soul. So at the end of the day, if you always remember that, you will never not try something. You might sit there and feel like, oh, should I? Yes, try it at least. And then one that I always say is what I always say on success is on the other side of fear. On the other side of fear. At the end of the day, like if you're in a situation where you're scared to do something, just do that. Do whatever makes you scared. Still,
Yeah.
I can't lie to you. Get comfortable in the scared.
Yeah. And just to sort of add to that, to close up on that point. Actually, I got one more point to it, but
Go on.
it'll be a closing point. Innit? Firstly, in terms of when you said no's like don't take no's. What did you say about no?
Don't take no as
like
just
the
no
final
and the door's shut.
Yeah.
No, just try harder.
And that's one of the things that I learned. Where I don't know if I learned this before, like in my job now, but no really means not yet. That's what no, like no one ever says no and it's no forever, fam.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you was younger, you might try to convince your mum that you want something, she says no, and you keep going. She just cool. You just the reason you're saying no is because you ain't applied enough pressure, or you ain't provided enough value. That's one or the other. So no doesn't mean no, never. It just means not yet.
Yeah.
And also a question to end this year is, this links back to like the whole demand thing and either, choosing to settle or going up, whatever. How do you know you're ready for the next step or for growth? Or let's say some people who are maybe struggling to understand let's say a promotion or whatever, how do you know you're ready for that next step?
From my experience, it would be if you feel like you've got a lot of value, and it doesn't necessarily reflect in your pay. So if you feel like, you know what, I've outgrown this role. Like you're someone who can give a lot more than what this role is saying that you give, and what you're actually currently getting paid, and you're like, you know what, I'm ready for the next. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the next step because I can't I can do that. Or you might see someone else doing what you want to get into, like whether it be that promotion, be like, I could do that. Like you feel like, no, I can do that. Like I can prove myself at that level. Like I can do exactly what they're doing. Especially with at least a week of learning how to do this shit. Like I can easily do that. And then the last thing would be just that level of belief, bro. Like if you believe you can do it, you can do anything. Like, a lot of people will take that differently. A lot of people will be like, yeah, that's crap. I just leave that last one. You get me? But a lot of other people will be like, nah, say less. Like if I believe in myself, I can do it. I always refer back to that Harry Panera episode of Halfcast, HC podcast, when he was just like, if I'm gonna want to do what I need to do that shit. Like I need to go now. Like there is no wait until the right time. I need to go, and I need to go now. If I believe in it, I need to give it my all. And then at that point is when he knew like he needed to quit his job. He needed to go and take this, because he only got a check for like a bag, and he showed it to his parents, and then they was like, "This is mad," and he was like, "This is what I just got for just doing a couple hours of work." But fuck this, bro. If I could do this, I could keep doing this and make bank. Like I'm not stupid. Do you know what I'm saying? So honestly,
Hey,
those
shout
would be the
out
three.
because where he is now specifically, it's mad how the stands are aligned. So shout out Harry Panera, shout out Joe Bayer, the whole 5 channel, because them, bro. I remember I was speaking to Joe about when he first joined 5 and the things that he's working on. Yeah, bro, man's not. I won't say single handedly, but them lot there, from having a channel, I think they had like 10K subs, 20K subs, growing it to like, I think they either close to 1 million or just touched 1 million subs.
And I'll definitely say this is the day and age where I encourage people to be a bit more ballsy, because there's a lot of stuff going on that is I wouldn't even say profitable, because it's not necessarily all about money. It's more about growth, innit? Like if you're someone who likes to grow, then you have to take risk and you have to believe in yourself and back yourself. And without doing those types of things, you'll go nowhere, basically. If you don't, even if it doesn't matter whether it's you're in a job and you want a promotion, you want to get to the next level, you want to start earning more, you want to start being in a different position. Even just that alone, you have to believe in yourself. You can't go in there and not believe in yourself. You're done. Go around, go home. If you don't believe in yourself, you have to believe in yourself first. That's the number one thing.
Yeah. What about, and I'll probably have some input for this part.
Go on.
What about things that you can start doing to take that next step? Like tangible things.
Tangible things to start doing. Planning.
Okay.
So the first thing is planning, innit? Planning, what it looks like would be writing things down. So where you want to be, either how much you want to earn, what you want to be doing, how you want your day to look like, planning it out. This is kind of like a manifestation type of situation where you're kind of putting it out in the atmosphere alone. But then secondly, it's like, okay, this is where I want to be. Then the next bit will be how you're going to get it. So whatever field you're in, let's say it's car sales. We were talking about car sales earlier. If you're someone who sees someone, you're like, right, this person is selling 10 cars a week. That is crazy. 10 cars a week, bro. The commission on that is mad. These cars are ranging between 25K and 130K. Man, he's raking it. 10 cars. I say nah. How much did I do last month? 3. I ain't pattern up. Do you get me? If I want to get on his level, I need to pattern up. So I need to get 10. How much is that every week? Okay, that's like 1 and a bit. But kind of, you know what I'm saying? Or 2 and a bit, whatever the case may be. I need to now sit to myself and be like, okay, let me set some targets. I need to sell next month 5. Next month 5. Then, do you get me? And then after that, the month after that, I need 7. And then you start slowly scaling yourself. So now you've got these tangible things, and then you scale it back one more.
Yeah.
What techniques is it using? Then you have to start. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to start learning. So you might have to start. Hey, big dog, you wanna get me grab a coffee at lunch? You get me? I've got these. You know what I'm saying? I know you like ball. You get me? I got a Haaland bet. They're playing this weekend. Let's talk. Let's rap. Start talking to man. You start getting to know man. And you start getting to know man's techniques, man's tactics. How long you been doing it before? He's been doing it for 10 years and that. You think, oh, what word your man experienced it? Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Okay, cool. So what? Now you start learning, and you start jotting down, and then now you start applying. So then now you're in a position where you're filled with all this ammo now, bro. You've got all of the techniques that this guy uses. You got the same time as him. Now it's time to implement. And you don't have to implement all of them at once. Try them slowly. See if this one works. See if this one works. Start taking things. Maybe seeing how man dresses. How does he present himself? How does he walk around? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does he taken by everyone else? Does everyone respect him? People talk behind his back. How does he talk much? Is he very quiet? Is he very focused? These are the type of small stuff. And then now all of a sudden, start selling those whips.
Yeah, that's a proper detailed answer, to be honest.
Yeah, I went a bit out in it.
Yeah, that was a detailed answer, yeah. But to be honest, you said not in exact words what I think as well, innit? Because I thought you was just gonna stop at, not thought, but it sounded like you was just gonna stop at first. You need to plan. Yeah, you get me. And what I was gonna say is you need to go, which you did say, but you need to go that one step further after you plan. Planning is all good, but the way I look at it, and the way I've been taught to think about, especially doing tangible things to go for that next opportunity, is whatever that next level is, wherever you could be. So let's say you want to again sell, be selling 10 cars, or you want to get this new job position, or you want to get this new job completely, or whatever. Whatever that next level is to you, you have to look at the internal job description of that level and start doing it before you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally how I've been taught about it. So the whole like having the self-belief in that's great, but that's like a prerequisite. If you ain't got that, then we ain't ready to talk about the things that you can start doing. Yeah. First, you need to have those, because you sort of almost have to think backwards. So go ahead and start to think backwards. Yeah, that person or that level that you want to get to, what are their demands like on a day-to-day basis? Now, if they were looking at you right now, do you think you can meet those demands? If it's no, then you have to rise your level. You need to rise your level to a place where, cool, they look at you and be like, it makes, like, you almost want to make their decision for them if it's in someone else's hands, or if it's wherever you're getting your next opportunity. It needs to sort of just make sense. Well, he's already doing that, so of course it's a no-brainer to give him this opportunity. You get me? Or, well, he's already earning this, so it's a no-brainer why, we're going to invest in him even further. So you almost need to have proof in the pudding already. And then a more explicit example, is, or saying is like, you wanna be, say you're like, your level you're at right now is 25k. Let's just say it could be 25k, whatever. It doesn't have to be salary. You only get to 50k, but you've never ever provided a 50k service or salary. You're barely providing 25. Yeah. Sometimes you might even
scraping
drop.
You get me? You might even
20, 50.
Yeah,
you get
man.
me? You're lucky to get 25.
You're doing well.
You get me?
You get me? You're punching.
So how can you expect to get 50k, reach a 50k level if you ain't ever provided a 50k service,
bro?
You. That's the thing where it's like, you want something, you have to prove why you're going to be worth it.
Gee, you know what I heard, and you know what's real? It's fucking fact. If the highest earner in the room is working the hardest and the smartest, there's a massive problem. It's a fucking massive problem. If you're someone who's not, obviously it's in context, but because obviously we're trying to put that in, but if you're someone who's not earning the most in the room, and that person that is earning the most in the room is working way harder than you,
you're going to be stuck there, fam.
Brother, what do you think you need to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look around. You get me? This person over here is making P 50. This guy is up in comparison to all you lot, and you lot think you lot should get what he's getting, and he's busting his ass. You get me? At bare minimum, you better start doing what's going on over here, bro. At bare minimum,
people want to start getting what he's getting before they want to start doing the work that he's doing. You're like, that's not how it works. That's absolutely not. And the thing is, this is where sometimes this is like a full circle thing, and this is where sometimes the whole like draining me comes from. Whereas like you have certain conversations with people who cool, they might, they're talking about what they want to do, places they want to get to, and you sort of ask them, okay, what are you doing right now? And you're like, they tell you, and they're like, bro, of course, that's why you are where you are. Not because you ain't got the ability to do better, but like if we're talking about ability and potential, it's like cool. Everyone's got a certain level of ability. Like your potential should always precede your current status, innit?
Yeah.
But we can't go off that. Like no one. How many times would you buy a product because of its potential? If you're gonna buy a product, gym gear, trainers, whatever, you're most likely gonna read a few reviews or look at like the pictures of what it does. You're not gonna like buy it because I'm gonna buy it because I think it can do this. No, you buy it because you know it's gonna do this or it's gonna deliver this. That's exactly the same way you should think about yourself. Yeah. If you want someone to basically take a chance with you or help you or get you to that next level, you need to essentially guarantee the minimum requirements of that level in terms of results. So now if you're looking at yourself and you're like, okay, cool, I'm not doing what I need to do to get there, then number one, you've already identified and it's not even a small gap. Sometimes there's a massive gap. Because as you said, fam, you could be the biggest earner in the room and also the hardest worker in the room. But then everyone around you is looking at you like, bro, I wish I was in your position. Or, bro, I bet I could do what he's doing. Yeah. They're saying, instead of, whilst he's doing what he needs to do, you're saying that thing saying, I bet. You're not even confident. You're betting. Betting is like a gamble. So you're not even saying, I know I can do it. And then proving it. You're saying, I bet. So you're not even 100% confident in yourself. Because it's easy to say, I bet this and I bet that. Yeah. But to actually start doing it, that's where the people who start, I won't say earning big money, but that's the people who are really making a big impact and a big difference. That's the difference between them and you, essentially. Yeah.
That's real. That's real stuff.
So, yeah, essentially to wrap up on that one.
Yeah. Stop.
To get to a new level, you need to have already been doing the minimum requirements of that new level.
Minimum requirements. You got to be willing to do that stuff at minimum.
For sure.
Did you have anything, man, for this week or?
No. Do you know what? The thing that we spoke about today sort of touched in perfectly with how I've been feeling throughout the week, to be honest. So.
Yeah, same. Because I think when we was talking about it, I was just like, yeah, this is exactly where I wanted the direction of the conversation to go. In that sense, I mean, talking about business sometimes to a lot of people it's very important because a lot of people do want to learn some shit in it when they pull up on a pod. They're gonna leave here with something.
Hey, man,
100%. Sometimes they leave here with a bit too much in their basket. You know what I mean? Hey. Might have to double back, read that again, be like, hold up, what them niggas said again?
Trust me, fam. Rewind it, fam. Rewind it. Hey, some highlights of the week.
Go on.
Danky, I sent you, man.
Yeah, talk to me about this.